it's Shannon and Rebecca. We're here to really chat with you about what you can do online, on YouTube, on apps, and all the fun things on the She's Driven podcast. And I got another super driven woman with me right now. We were just rapping about Newport Beach, Laguna Beach before we got started. And I'm like, wait, stop, don't say any more because we need to talk about it on the podcast. So welcome, girl. You're like my neighbor. You're like my hour and a half away neighbor. How are you?
I am so good. I'm so excited for this. This is just going to be amazing. Thank you so much for having me on.
It's so good. Well, first of all, I want to ask you, are you on Clubhouse, the app that everybody's talking about?
Yes, I am on Clubhouse. And for the first 2 weeks, I was like, I'm on it all the time. And like, I've had to take a step back because life has just been like, crazy. And I'm like, I keep getting notifications. I'm like, I feel like I'm missing out. I got to get back in the room.
Yeah, no, it is. It's like you go back to the club, right? So I was just curious if you're on. I'll definitely go find you and follow you. You got to create some boundaries around it. I wasn't on it for like a week. And while I wasn't on it for that week, we made over $800,000 online. And if I would have been on the Clubhouse app, maybe people are making money on it, but I probably would have made 25,000 versus 800,000. So let's talk about who you are, how you got online, and what your favorite platforms are. So let's start there.
Yeah, so I'm originally from England. I came to America at 22 to get my commercial pilot's license because I thought that was how I was going to travel around the world. But it turns out when you get your commercial pilot's license, you don't get to go to Bali and the Maldives. You get to go to the short trip. So I was like, hang on a second, this isn't quite what I signed up for. But I did my training in Long Beach and I grew up watching Laguna Hills on MTV. And I was like, one day, Lauren Conrad, I'm going to drive down PCH and I'm going to be in my convertible and we're going to have lunch together. And so I always had that vision of wanting to live in Southern California. I didn't realize that the pilot's license was going to be the thing that got me here. But when I got here, I fell in love. And I didn't end up becoming a pilot. I got my whole license, but came to America on an O1 visa and started to go for jobs. I was like, this British accent, everyone's going to love it. Turns out there's a lot of British people thinking the same thing in LA. I was like, oh, I'm really not that special. But I did go for an audition to be on a YouTube channel. And that was probably about 10 years ago now, 9-10 years ago. And I got the audition and I found out that my one talent in life is talking and working out at the same time. I can do that all day long. So I started working for a channel on YouTube, grew it to like 3 million subscribers. We filmed for 18 months. I got paid $40 per episode, but it was just the excitement of being part of YouTube and it was workout videos. And I found something that I knew like this was my thing. After about 1.5 years, they decided they didn't want to film anymore. I didn't understand why, but no problem. And it took me about 1.5 years to get my confidence to film my own channel and to have my own videos. Now I've been doing that for coming on 6-7 years. I've got my own fitness app. We have a podcast. I just had a best-selling book. And life is great, but it's really been a lot of grit, determination, and hard work. But now I'm in a place where, I'm just loving life and just enjoying everything that's happening.
So talk to us about the team. What does the team look like to be able to film videos and editing and like all that type of stuff? What does that look like when somebody says, okay, I want to assemble a team? Because nobody talks about the team. They talk about you should do this, here's the tactics, but what about the team? Let's start there.
I love that question. And it's so funny because I think it's always something that I'm working on. So I do have a team now, but when I very first started doing YouTube and I still have my camera for like a souvenir, I had a $150 Sony camera that I would set up on a tripod and I would shoot myself. And I had the camera up and I didn't realize until about 6 months later that you could flip the camera so that you could actually see yourself. So no joke, I would get into the shot. I would do my jumping jacks, put my arms in the air, go round, replay it, double check that I was in frame and then go back again. Yes. You know what, guys? We're always learning. So there's a tip ready for you that if you have a flip camera that you can actually film yourself. And we didn't have fancy iPhones back then. So everything was in this $150 Sony camera. And then as I started to get more things coming on, I would have interns and I would actually find people off Craigslist. That's where I found most of my employees because I didn't have much money at the beginning to help. So I started to get people who would do things like my cleaning and my laundry so that I could spend time on that. So it was like, where can I navigate my time? Where is it best spent? And what can I delegate to other people with the money that I have? Like, that's it. It's like, what do you have? And use that. Fast forward, 6 years of having this company, I now have a full app team. I have somebody that does my emails. I have a chief business officer. I have a videographer, an editor, a personal assistant. Somebody puts all the input in the app, and has somebody that runs my social media. And then now my mom is also working for me. So like I have like 9-10 people that are part of my team. But at the beginning, I did everything. I edited, did the blogs, did the calendar, did absolutely everything. And as things have got better, I've been able to bring more people on at a different level.
So, okay, so you found people on Craigslist. So what did you do? You wrote an ad and put it on Craigslist, or you just started surfing for people on the job descriptions and sending them messages? And how did you know even how to lead them? You know what I mean? Like, that's it. Like, even like right now, this was hilarious this morning. No kidding. Talk about the flip the camera thing. I had the flip the camera moment this morning. I'm driving down the street and I own a virtual assistant company with 50 employees. Okay, I own one. And I literally am driving down the street and I'm talking to the woman who is running that company, because I don't run that company at all. I have one meeting a week and I don't run that company. And I said, wait a minute, as I'm running some strategy for that company, I said, why is my company, the other company, Hardcore Business, why are we looking for social media people to put like, because my social media team is like all of a sudden decided to be trainers and they're all gone, right? And this all happened like the last like 6 weeks. And so I find myself posting. So we're outdated, like 8-figure company, and I'm back to posting, right? And I go, why am I looking for a virtual assistant? Why don't you go find me a virtual assistant that works for us? That would be great for this job. And so, sometimes the common sense isn't common. And, one of the things I think you've probably developed some good skills on is okay, we find them on Craigslist or wherever. And how do you get over the hump of not knowing how to lead them or what to ask them to do?
So for me, I've done everything in my business. So I knew how to set up even the web stuff. I knew how to write a blog. I learned all the skills myself. Then I put an ad out. Honestly, it was for like an intern, like, hey, social media person needs help with inputting blogs or like whatever it was that I was doing. I basically wrote my own job description of what I needed help with. And I was like, you don't need any experience, because at the time, the people that I was hiring were 20, 21, 22, because I couldn't afford to pay them, somebody who was 35 and had 10 years of experience in like managing a team. So I literally learned all the skills myself. I would put an ad out and then I would meet them not at my house, but like a nice cafe, because it was like, it looked better, right? Yeah. So I would do these interviews and oh my goodness, I've really got it down at the beginning. I was interviewing like 10, 15 people a day for 2 days straight, instead of just doing a quick Zoom. It's that thing. It's like, oh, it's right in front of us. Why don't you just jump on with them? Because in the first, I believe, 10 seconds, if this is going to be the right person for you. It's just a feeling. And for me, it didn't matter about how much experience they had. It was if I liked you and if we connected and if we gelled. So I was like, great. I like you. You're a cool person. I'm going to have you come in and then we're going to do an internship. So for a couple of weeks, just to see if you've got it and, we're a right fit. I'm going to teach you these skills that I know. Then you're going to do it. Tell, show, try, do. Tell them what to do, show them how to do it with them, let them go off and do it themselves. And so it was just things that I knew to how to teach them. And, there's mistakes that are made and things aren't always perfect, but it's better to have people doing it 80% of you rather than you trying to do absolutely everything, because you will never be able to scale and you won't be able to grow.
So good. So now you've created this little empire here. And so what's your vision? What are you going to do with it now?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how far I've gone from, 7 years ago, I made $27,000 in my full year. And last year was 1.1 million. Crazy, and you're just right? Like now you're making $27,000 in a week. You're just like, how? It's like, what happened? I made that my whole year. And so the vision now is just to keep on growing it and to get better. I feel like I'm just getting started. Like I'm still figuring out how to work with, how to train people, how to manage my own time. I think that's where I'm looking forward to now, is not getting my screen time to be 13 hours a day and actually figuring out how other people can do things. I have a new app team coming on board, which I'm really excited about, because I feel like as you go through your business, you'll have people that will get you to point B. And then they won't be able to be the people that get you to point C. And knowing that that's okay and not holding on to it. And if you have someone in your team that's not really performing, it's not to say that they're now changed. It's because you've changed and you're expecting a higher level. So if you want to get your company to the next level, even if you love this person and they're a great person inside, if they're not the right person to the job to help you get to that next level, it's like you just have to go out and find that. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck and you're also going to get frustrated, and it's not fair on that person, which is what I've found recently. You know, that I've had to make some shifts and changes because where my vision is of growing this bigger and having more features added to the app and doing this kind of thing and adding this, I just don't have the team right now. So I have to create that team, which is perfect that you're bringing this up because you're really reminding me, Rebecca, it's about your team. It's about your team. It's about your team. And then being able to take it to the next level, and just build the app to be even bigger and make more impact around the world.
Yeah. So, sitting at the position we're at right now, where, we're an 8-figure company, it's not odd for us to do 7 figures in a day. You know what I mean? And where we're at right now, we're in exactly the same spot you're in. Exactly. Like literally, if I was to show you my whiteboard, I have a whole wall that we did as a whiteboard. We had it all white, like it's a whiteboard wallpaper, and it's all restructuring the company again, because as you add things to it, you'll start to realize, oh, that just got complicated. And now it's complicated to run a team. I need to resystemize it down. And then you look at like my operations, and then my entire marketing team, like, is going through another rehaul. And by the way, it's the 3rd rehaul in a year and a half. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm even figuring out who do I need to be to even figure out what I need on that next jump. And so I love that, you're bringing it up. And I think it's great for people to know that wherever you're at, you're going to keep, when you hit these levels of frustration, just look at the team. Who's not on the team, and don't say I can't afford a team member, because like Rebecca has shared, there's interns, and then there might be somebody might not know how to do something. And so then you might create a different deal. Like I had to hire people that I didn't know how to do it. And so what I did was I would work my ass off for the whole month because I knew their invoice was coming, and it was like, it held my ass in the seat to perform. And that's another piece. So, okay. So you got this vision, you created this company. Tell us about your YouTube channel. Like, how do you get a YouTube channel to rock like yours is rocking?
Biggest thing with YouTube is consistency. I've not missed a new workout video in 7 years, coming out on a Monday. So like every single week, I have never, ever missed one. And it's just a standard that I've kept for myself. It's just something I feel like it's a responsibility. It's like people are expecting this and I'm going to deliver it. Like they're already following me. They're giving me their trust that I'm going to be there to guide them and get them excited, ready to go on a Monday. So I'm going to deliver it. And it's finding that one thing that you're really excited about. So if it's fitness, you're doing fitness videos. If it's cooking, it's like that one niche, and just keep going and over and over and over again. A really great tool that you can add onto YouTube is something called TubeBuddy. It's a plugin that you can do on Chrome, and it will tell you, hey, is your SEO right in this? Have you got enough tags? Have you got your iCards on? It's called TubeBuddy, TUBE, and then Buddy. And it's not expensive, but it's just an extra little plugin that you have, and it will just make sure that your video is optimized. It's like little things like that just add, and then finding other videos that are trending in your genre, and then kind of doing your own version of that. I mean, you can say, well, I don't want to copy, but everything is already done out there. So like if you try and do something, like it's been done. And then just being super consistent and adding so much value. And with YouTube, your goal is to get them into an email system, right? So for me, every single time I do a workout, I'm telling people, hey, make sure that you sign up for my newsletter because you're going to get my free monthly guides. Like every month we give out free content. And I think people get worried about giving out so much stuff for free because people are never going to buy it. No, I have an app that does very, very well. Yet I have over 600 workout videos online with free guides and free everything. People don't pay for the knowledge, they pay for the organization.
That's such good advice. I was just going to say, because I'm sure on the app, it's organized and it holds you more accountable on the app versus you're having to use all your own willpower to go back to YouTube. That's so great. So your back end is an app. So that's the back end of your business is an app.
Yes,
So,
it's an app.
and what does the app cost?
The app is $3.99 for our basic membership or $8.99 for the pro. So it's a really, really low ticket. But inside of it, we have a program that starts with nutrition. So I'm also part of a network marketing company. And so inside of that, it's all about nutrition products. So I have 8 coaches that once you get signed up for this 5-day Better You program, it's amazing. The girls love it. They get to connect, make a new bestie with their coach. At the end of these 5 videos, they'll get a nutrition plan. And the nutrition plan can include some of our nutrition products if they decide that they want to use it. Then they get started on that plan. And most of the time, a lot of those people have now become distributors. So my funnel is, a lead system where I'm bringing in people from YouTube. They're watching my workouts. They sign up for my, my free calendar. They then get sent to join up for the app. And then it's like, great, you want to be on nutrition products as well? Because they're 2 residual income things. Like I can start the beginning of the year knowing that I've already got $1 million in the bank account before I've even done anything. Yep. And so then they're getting connected and it's 5 days of video. So they're really connecting with their coach. It's not just like, hey, here's this stuff to order. We then get them into our own funnel system of our team. And then they're part of the team. They can become a distributor. And now I've had people come through my system who are now full-time health coaches making $8,000 a month, like from a YouTube follower. And now I'm helping them make money, which for me, it's the coolest thing ever. Like, yes, I can help you lose weight or get some energy, but if I can put $8,000 in your bank account every month, you're going to be freaking fired up. So that's my vision, is to help more people who want to do that. Then we host retreats here so everybody gets to meet in person. It's, it's emotional. People cry, they're connected. But that's really the real impact, because there's a lot of fitness people out there and you can say, yeah, you buy their app, you buy their yoga mat, you're buying all their stuff. They're making all the money, right? Yeah. Or you can be part of this and we're actually giving you the opportunity to have a career in health and fitness. So I love it. I love the system and the flow and the funnel that we have.
Well, and it's great. And I loved how you talked about email, because I think a lot of people don't realize that email is where we sell. And so I don't actually do business on email, but I shop in it all the time. I do business on Slack, that my company's in Slack, but because email is like, it sucks you in, but that's why it's a great platform to sell on, right? Because we're in there and it's like delete, 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 delete. Yeah. But those were the marketers that didn't hook you with the information that you wanted. They didn't segregate their list. They segment their list. They didn't, you know what I'm saying? So we're focused even more so on how do we actually even optimize our email list, because when they come through your funnel, now you've got this email list growing. Whenever you're not selling something, segment so you can get even more specific. You know what I'm saying? So it's an interesting scenario. Okay. So you're amazing. I'm so glad that we got to spend some time together. And what do you want to share for the final last words for entrepreneurs who are watching you, especially since the fact that you do so much on social? Like, what's your advice about social media and growing businesses?
I mean, on social media, it's just get started taking action. Don't take advice from someone you wouldn't trade places with, is what my mentor always told me. And if you've got people in your life that are like, oh, you shouldn't post that, you shouldn't do that, take a look at them. What are they doing? Do you have the life? Do you want the life that they have? And if not, start following people that are successful. I mean, it really is the art of duplication and putting your own spin on it. The reel doesn't have to be perfect. A post doesn't have to be perfect. It's better to get something up half good than it is just to get nothing up at all when you're first getting started. So just go for it, get rid of those limiting beliefs, and just keep taking advice from people that you want to trade places with.
All right, girl. So we're going to put all your information in the show notes so that everybody can connect to your YouTube channel, have to work out with you consistently on your app. And I also think, you bring up a great point with network marketing, you guys. Like, the great thing about network marketing is if you don't want all the headaches of actually running a business, it's really nice because then you only have to get good at marketing and sales. And I always say, you can run a $3 million a year business and not have to be great at business if you get good at marketing and sales, which is awesome. And you can especially do it with network marketing. So lots of love to you, girl. Thanks for joining us on the Yeah, She's Driven podcast. And if you guys loved Rebecca, go ahead and leave a review. All right, I'll talk to you soon.